Welcome to the commentary booth where we watch and you get to commentate on the week that was in movies and TV. I'm your occasional host today because we're doing a frightening flashback. So, of course, I got told that I had to do this. So, anyway, I'm joined by your normal everyday host, Jamie Apps, whose favorite movie this week is The Devil Wears Prada. Um, and his favorite show is going to be South Park because I'm not going to change that on him because at least that's true. So, yeah, what's up? How's it going? I'm glad we got past this really hard introduction today. I cannot stop having giggle fits, apparently.
Yeah, I'm good. Don't forget your own name.
I did. Whoops, sorry. Well, I'm whatever. I'm a stupid, crazy American. So there's that. It's cool. I'm on cloud nine, people. I booked my Halloween Horror Nights ticket today. So I am just like on cloud nine and kind of forgot everything else about everything. I also forgot that I was recording today, so I forgot to take notes because I was in a queue for 3 hours trying to get my ticket. So this is what I do for dedication because, of course, there's going to be an article about it this year because we got some really exciting news today along with ticket releases, and I'm super stoked to go ahead and get get entertained and scared.
Yep,
Mhm.
Terrify House. That should be. If they're gonna do a crazy extreme one, that's gonna be the one.
So they market the event as for not suitable for children under 13. I feel we had this conversation at work, my coworker and I, and she was like, I don't know how they're going to do that. And I go, it's going to go one of two ways. They're either going to have an 18 and older only house for the very first time, or it is not going to live up to the movie itself in some aspects because there are certain things that I don't think you're going to be able to put in a house um, at all
No,
without
no.
without breaking some form of a law that I'm sure Florida has because we have all these fucking random laws.
Yeah, that house will be something. That'll be interesting when you go through it and like, oh, well, yep, that was either awesome or it's gonna be a massive letdown.
Yeah, regardless, it's going to be a bloodbath, much like our episode focuses on today. So today with our frightening flashback, we are celebrating the 25th anniversary of American Psycho, which is one of my favorite Christian Bale movies of all time, probably. So yeah, there's actually a ton of people when I was going through research on this very quickly. There are actually a ton of people in this movie, and I completely forgot that they were in it. So before we dive in, questions, comments, concerns, and thoughts about our lovely rewatch. Well, for you, I guess it's a first time watch.
I enjoyed this. I did not enjoy the ending. The ending annoyed the crap out of me, but the actual movie was fun. Yeah, bunch of people in this. It kind of nowadays you're like, oh, I know that guy. I know that person. I know that person. Um, I guess 20 years, 25 years ago, maybe not so like widely recognizable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, the main thing was like, yeah, that ending just annoyed the crap out of me. I did like the OG Lionsgate logo though. Like this must have been
Yes.
oh, one of the earliest movies of Lionsgate because that logo's it shows the time.
Yeah, I loved the very first thing that you said to me was "Holy crap, Lionsgate old school logo," and I was like, "Yes!" Like this is for me. I feel, and I'm just I might be biased because I really like this movie, but for me, this was the movie that put Lionsgate, I think, on the radar for a lot of people because of how crazy it was, and especially for the time and all the controversy and struggles that this movie had. And it was pretty much a success, and they definitely earned their money back on it. So
Yeah, yeah. It was like it's a fun movie. It's just like it almost screams out for a sequel to give you the conclusion because it doesn't feel concluded when it ends. It's kind of like, oh, there's so much open and up in the air that's like left for interpretation. I
mhm.
was like, I need more of this. And yeah, you did say there is a sequel, but not really.
No, it's trash. Uh, yeah, just full disclosure, if you watch American Psycho, don't watch American Psycho 2 thinking you're gonna get like a sequel to Norman or Jesus Christ, Norman Bates. Did you hear me? Patrick Bateman's story. Sorry, I'm on psycho level right now, literally. Yeah, no, the second one is absolute trash. Mila Kunis is in it, and she said that looking back, she regrets it. It's one of her like one of the few things that she actually regrets doing in her career. It was fucking
Mm.
terrible.
Yeah, because it doesn't really have a connection. Like Patrick Bateman apparently passes away, and then that's how they connect it. But it's like
Well, so yeah, yeah,
might
he's
as
a
well just be a totally standalone movie.
yeah, apparently, and it's been forever, so I can't really remember all that much about it. But when I was reading about it again, just for shits and giggles, the main character was being babysat by someone who was dating Bateman at the time, and he murdered her, and so the little girl murdered him.
Yeah, but
Um,
yes,
it
that's
doesn't really fit. It's a stretch. It was a big stretch. It wasn't necessary. It was fucking terrible. Yeah, it was awful. But don't let that deter you from seeing the original because this movie's fucking it's a masterpiece in my opinion. I know you don't like the ending, and we'll touch base on that a little bit later. I think the ending is great, because it leaves so much to the viewer's interpretation. Like you interpret it the way you want to. Some people like you are like, no, that's not an ending. I need like a conclusion. Other people like me, I always think about, did it all happen? Did it not happen? Is it in his head? Kind of thing. So
at the end of it, I'm like, well, that it's like the oh, I woke up from a dream, like dream sequence ending without doing that. It's just ambiguous enough where you're like, huh, maybe he's just all messed up in the head and just like fantasizes about this, and that's how he gets through a boring ass medial life. Like,
mhm.
just going through the motions and then having these crazy, literally crazy, murderous fantasies in his head. And that's how he gets
Yeah.
through life.
Yeah,
But he also has
absolutely.
some very weird traits as well that are big red flags leading up to that point.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, we'll just dive in. So American Psycho is based on a novel by Bret Easton Ellis. I've actually never read the novel, although rewatching this movie, I kind of should read the novel because I haven't.
How many books have you read this year and you haven't added that to the list?
This does not fall into my category of what I read currently.
Oh, I know, unfortunately.
Anyway, we're not gonna we're not gonna
Don't worry.
revisit.
In about a year, we're all going to find out what Corrina reads, and it's going to be a lot.
In about a year, probably maybe like a year and a half after they settle everything, everybody's going to be ruined for cookies and cream ice cream, and it's going to be fantastic. I'm still an avid eater of cookies and cream ice cream. Just putting that out there. Bryn Weaver is amazing, and she can't ruin food for me.
We will probably have to put a content warning on the start of that episode, so
We
be
could just
prepared.
list we can just list the trigger warning pages because there's like a trigger warning that's like 2 pages long for that book, and it's fantastic, and I love it. Anyway, so yeah, I haven't read American Psycho. Maybe I'll put it on my TBR and I'll read it eventually. So yeah, there's a bunch of people in this. Like we said, this stars Christian Bale as Patrick Bateman, the lead character, and crazy lunatic millionaire tycoon kind of thing. Works at a law firm. Is just your standard like,
He's just standard like finance bro.
yeah, he's a dick.
Yeah,
He is a very douche kind of guy.
all of
Um,
his.
yeah.
But he also gives off like big Jim Carrey vibes at times as well. There was a couple of scenes where I was like, he's giving me like Ace Ventura or like combined with like Jim Carrey in The Mask.
Hmm. But then there's other parts where like he said that he was trying to base his character off of like Tom Cruise and Donald Trump. Ugh, that's gross to look back on and say. But also Nicolas Cage too, I guess. As we all know, Christian Bale is an avid method actor. And
Yes.
he did not shy away from that when he was doing this film either.
Which, yeah, I spoke to a wrestler that acts recently, and he talked about like, just don't be a dickhead. Like method acting is dumb.
Yeah, he Christian Bale was said to have had his teeth professionally whitened to get it as white as humanly possible to look perfect. He was in the gym all the fucking time. He brought the novel to the sets. He did not socialize with people after cuts were made. He talked with an American accent the entire time. So he
So much so that people thought he was American, and then at the after party, he went back to his regular accent, and they were like, "Oh, you getting ready for a new role?" He's like, "No, this is just how I talk."
Yeah. And see, for the longest
And
time, I will
he did that
say,
skin routine as well.
yeah, for the
He maintained that skin routine for the entire duration of filming. It's like, bro, like, ease up on the method acting bullshit.
he was so committed to this role, because Lionsgate did not want him. He was not well enough known. So they did not want him in the lead role. He was so adamant about getting this role. He did not take on any other jobs for 9 months, which is insane to me that you would just turn down work for 9 months on the hopes and dreams that you're going to get something. But it worked in his favor. So yeah, we have Christian Bale in here. Willem Dafoe is in here playing again a detective.
People were telling Christian not to take this role too, though. Like,
Yeah,
this is
it's
going to be
gonna.
career suicide to take this crazy, insane serial killer type role. And he was
Yeah,
like,
there's
"No, that makes me want to do it even more. Thanks."
right. Yeah, he even convinced who was it? I think it was Ewan McGregor. He convinced not to take this role because Ewan McGregor was originally approached, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Vince Vaughn, and Edward Norton. And the original people that were tied to this movie also wanted Leonardo DiCaprio on here. And he was eventually talked out of it because they said at the time he was so young and his fan base was so young that it would look really bad.
Yeah, and he was still in like heartthrob phase. Like
Yeah,
he
so
could never be
it would
suicide.
have ruined his good boy image.
When did Fight Club come out?
Fight
The
Club
year
came out
before.
the year before this.
Yeah, Jesus, they couldn't have put Edward Norton in this.
No, because that would have been way too soon.
It would have been way too similar. I mean, like, oh Jesus,
Yeah.
he's
So
he's now just the mental case guy.
yeah. So yeah, we got Christian Bale, we got Willem Dafoe playing a detective, which I love Willem Dafoe. He can do no wrong. He's a fantastic detective in Boondock Saints. And for me, his role in this reminded me so much of the detective in Boondock Saints, except for the whole cross-dressing thing. Um, but yeah, Willem Dafoe is fantastic. He can do no wrong. Reese Witherspoon is in here, super young, and I think the only thing that she was really known for before this was Cruel Intentions. So
She was only 24 when this
yeah,
came out.
she was so young you didn't even recognize that it was her at first. I was like, "Hey, look, Reese Witherspoon," and you were like, "What?"
Yeah, when she's introduced in the like a conversation in the car, like, okay,
Blonde
just
chick.
the girl, and then later you're like, oh wait, that's Reese Witherspoon. What the fuck?
Yeah, yeah, Reese Witherspoon's in here, and then we see Jared Leto in here, and prior to this, he actually was in Fight Club, so he actually got like back to back kind of movies going on for him, and then we see how he's progressed too. I think, I don't know if you feel this way, but I'm wondering if like watching Christian Bale become a method actor or like do his method acting on set inspired Jared Leto to become that fucking crazy to where he is now, like method acting to the extreme.
Probably.
Yeah, it's rough.
But there's also like Justin Theroux,
hmm
Josh Lucas, Chloe Savini.
I was
Like,
gonna say I can't say her last name to save my life, but every time I see this, I forget she's in it, and I know her. I don't know her from a lot of things except for American Horror Story.
yep.
That's actually the only place I know her from. But her face is just so recognizable when I do see her on film, and I just always forget her fucking name.
Yeah, like I when I was reading through the cast list, I was like, I don't really recognize any of these people. But then I saw their faces. I was like, oh yeah, I know you. Yeah, I know you.
hmm Yeah, it's just the people just become more and more like recognized, like, oh, I know that person from this. So this movie had so many people in it. It just at the time they weren't well known, I don't think. Even the guy who
Which
played
made it authentic. Like if you had like, oh, here's Leonardo DiCaprio and here's Matt Damon as one of his mates, you'd be like, it's a movie.
yeah.
Whereas at like it's like any horror really. I prefer when they don't have the big names, like if they just have a bunch of unknowns because it makes it feel a little bit more like this could really be happening.
Yeah, like I mean, look at Scream. Scream, the
First
first one.
Scream, and then you look at Scream 7, you're like, it's a movie.
Yeah. Yeah, you had like Courtney Cox and Dave Arquette were like the only two really known actors in the first Scream movie. And now it's just like, eh,
Here's
whatever.
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, like, it's cool. It's Ghostface at this point. Like, it doesn't have the same hit for me. But yeah, so this movie was it was just a mess. Everything about this movie is a mess when it came to production. It was stuck in production hell. There was, super big disagreements. There was original directors, then there was redirectors that came back because Lionsgate was like, we don't want you anymore. So yeah, it was a mess. Whatchamacallit, Lionsgate actually offered to pay $20 million if they could get Leonardo DiCaprio in the lead role. I found out.
Jesus.
I was like, that's over budget. This movie had a $7 million budget when they originally started. And so Lionsgate was like, oh yeah, we'll just throw money at this name and see what happens. But didn't work. So
Did you
yeah,
see what ended up being the biggest cost for the movie in the end?
I did not, because I did not get that far in my in my jotting down things while I was rushing to get this together.
Ultimately, the biggest cost for the movie were the music rights because they
Ah,
used like really big songs like Huey Lewis and the News and
mm-hmm. Genesis. Wait, no. No? Yes? No.
yeah,
Phil
Genesis.
Collins.
Like,
Yes, Genesis. I was about to just say Phil Collins, but I was like, no, Genesis was his band, right? Yes.
yeah. And yeah, they don't give out their music rights cheaply. So, like, to use those would have been crazy expensive. And it's not like they're just in the background, like
Their
on
main
the
songs.
score as just like the acapellas.
Yeah.
They are like literally the song playing on a radio and they're talking about it and showing the like album art and stuff. Like it's basically product placement for songs.
Yes, and, fun fact is that Huey Lewis and the News never actually gave them permission to put the song on the album for this movie, like the soundtrack, and then they had to recall a bunch of the soundtracks because they released it
They
without
could've
that.
dumbass.
Yeah, they only had permission to use it in the movie.
Yeah, their legal team's an idiot.
Yeah. Yep, yep. So that was fun. That was a fun fact I learned, which was really interesting. Yeah, that movie, I like how Hip to Be Squared is always resonates with this movie just because that is our first major kill in this movie. And we said Jared Leto's in here. He's not in here for very long. Um, at all, but he is like the prized possession of Patrick Bateman. Like I feel like he just idolizes him and envies him so much. Because again, it's a dick swinging contest in their office to see who has the best business cards. You know, what
They're
color are the
all the
business
fucking
cards?
same and pretentious and oh, mine's off white, mine's bone, mine's ivory, mine has this
Eggshell.
font. They're all fucking same, dickheads.
But it just adds to the psychosis of like how unhinged these people can be. Like, and they're worried about like the dumbest shit. Like, don't worry about world hunger or like anything else that might be happening. Let's just worry about our business cards.
Yeah, but on that, this is like a strangely like socio-political movie as well for 2000. Like Bateman's calling out his mates for saying really anti-Semitic remarks, which
Hmm.
watching it this year is like, oh, that's kind of timely.
Yeah.
And like because of that, they're trying to set him up as like, oh, he's this hero character. Like he's actually a good guy. Like he's for the common man and like talks about like, oh, this stuff's happening in Sri Lanka. They're killing all of the Sikhs.
Hmm.
We should be talking about apartheid and solving apartheid and women need equal rights and we kind of need to like return to traditional moral values and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, he's supposed to be the hero of the movie, which I think
Hmm.
plays into like this is what he thinks about himself in his head. He thinks he's the hero of all of these situations.
Hmm. But then he
But then a second later he switches and like the red flags come up in big ways when he's like degrading the female bartender as she turns around to make his drink and like his like psychotic side like slips out constantly even at the laundromat when he's like
Hmm.
they didn't clean my white shirt covered in red stains and
It's cranberry juice.
um, yeah he's just like really misogynistic and chauvinistic at times but yeah on the contrast he's trying to be this really nice guy portraying like putting this mask on of like I'm the moral good guy like we need to do this we need to do this we need to like solving these bigger world issues but when the mask falls off he's all about himself he's ego driven like
Hmm.
everyone else oh I can't beat that guy so I'm just going to kill him off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then like he also like uses the F word as like the gay slur. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
this is definitely from the 2000s.
Yeah, and it portrays the 1980s, so, like, that's when it's supposed to take place, and so, like, that's even, like, more on point for that time period, I guess. Um, yeah, women have always been, like, looked at as just an object, and, he seems like he's, like, really, like, gung-ho about everything, and then, you see him, he just picks up hookers, and he cannot stand the relationship he's in, and, all this stuff. He also I like how
He's engaged to Reese Witherspoon's character, and he hates her. He
Yeah,
despises her.
absolutely
He,
hates her. I think
he's only
I think
engaged to her because like that's what he thinks
it's
everyone
expected.
else. It, yeah, it's what's expected. Like that's
Yeah,
what
it's a
everyone else.
socially accepted thing. It's all about social climbing the ladder, or the climb the social ladder. Jesus Christ, Karina, talk right. Um, but yeah, like I, I think my favorite thing about this movie is I'm not one for, like breaking the third wall kind of thing. Deadpool's an exception for me because that's like a funny ha ha. This movie for me is very different, and I love the fact that he narrates his own story and in his own head, and he's telling everybody like, this is my daily routine. I do this scrub, I do this mask, I work out X amount of times because that's how I keep myself perfect. And you just hear his internal fighting with himself, which I really like a lot because I feel like it just gives you so much more insight to what's really going through his head at these like tabled meetings and stuff, or these little posh dinners that he's forced to go to.
Yeah, like it's not quite breaking the fourth wall because he's like not directly addressing like the viewers.
Right.
It's more like you're in his head than like listening to his inner monologue of like heard something on a podcast the other day. Apparently like 20% of people don't have an inner monologue. I'm like, how the fuck do you exist?
That's so weird.
What do you do? Just walk around just like
Yeah, that's so weird
just
because like
nothing's going on in your head.
yeah, no, the voices up here never shut the fuck up. Like I've got like five different fucking things going on up here, and they're all
Yeah.
fighting with each other. Like I don't
Yeah.
understand how people get through life like
I
that.
heard that and I was like, what? How does that work? Like, how do you get around in life? Like, I'm always like, okay, so I've got to go and do this thing and then this, and then I'm going to do that. But apparently,
Hmm.
there's people who's there's fucking monkeys clapping cymbals.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's interesting.
Are you a trading card collector or a fan of Australian pro wrestling? If so, you're not going to want to miss out on the limited edition Australian wrestling cards. Each set includes 50 packs of 10 cards, including some of the country's top wrestling talents like Robbie Eagles, Shane Haste, Madison Eagles, Hartley Jackson, and they have Shaza McKenzie listed, although she is not a favorite. The velocities, and a lot more. There's wrestlers, referees, announcers, commentators that are featured, giving you a full appreciation of the Australian independent scene. The cards sold out a lot faster because cards are hot right now, as I'm sure Jeremy Lambert will tell you. But you can order your Australian wrestling cards now at Pario Magazine. That's PARIO magazine.com.au/AUS WRES cards. Follow Australian Wrestling Cards on social media at AusResCards for updates. Join the hundreds of fans who have already discovered the excitement of Australian wrestling cards.
I like that this movie also kind of demonstrates how lonely a trophy wife can be, because I feel like there are so many people out there now who, especially like the younger generation, so I feel like they've kind of gotten this weird concept of, oh, it'd be fun to be a trophy wife. Like, look, they just get to sit at home and like spend money and do all this bullshit. And then it shows like the sad reality of like their wives are just left at home. They're fucking doped up. Like he takes the lady he's having an affair with out to dinner, and she's so strung out she can't even like sit up at the dinner table. Like she's a hot mess
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, she's something.
She's a character, that's for sure. But yeah, it's such a lonely lifestyle that she's living, and I feel like in Bateman's head he's just making them less lonely, even though he's just not even enjoying it. He's just doing it to do it because he can. We see Christian Bale go a little unhinged and kill Jared Leto in a fantastic scene, which I read they kept Jared Leto out of rehearsals for the axe scene, until they were ready for the final shot to get his raw reaction to Christian Bale coming at him with an axe. And
Well,
I feel
that's
like it worked great.
More evidence of like what pushed him in the method acting scene.
More than anything,
Direction, like,
probably.
Jesus Christ. These filmmakers broke that pale man.
That scene has been redone a couple different times. Most notably, recently, Chloe. I introduced Chloe to a band called Ice Nine Kills like a couple years ago. They do music based on horror movies, and they did "Hip to Be Scared," and the music video for this has them in trench coats hacking things up, which is a fantastic thing. I love that music video. So it's just so much fun and it pays so much homage to this. That's where the Huey Lewis song comes into play, and that's why it's such a noteworthy song in this movie. Like anytime you see this film, you automatically think of that song.
Mhm.
And that's the start of his unraveling. I feel like that was really where he was getting a taste for, like, if I don't like somebody, I can just take them out, or if they're not benefiting me, I could just take them out. Like,
Yeah, because up until this point, like, he alludes to having done stuff like this before. Like, we have that dry cleaners scene where you're like, there's something wrong with this guy, but yeah, we can't 100% confirm it until that scene, and then you're like, oh, okay. So, like, up until then, we're getting those red flags of he's a dick to the bartender when she's not actually listening.
mhm.
He's cleaning off red stains from his clothes at a dry cleaner that's not anywhere near where he lives.
The
Clearly
homeless
identified.
guy in the alleyway that he befriends, quote unquote, and then just completely insults his way of life, and
And
ultimately it's
kills
not
his
fun.
damn dog in the most savage way possible. It's like, okay,
Oh,
yeah, now you're an asshole. If I didn't hate you before, I definitely do now.
yeah.
And
That's
even
how
like when they introduce your skincare routine, you're like, yeah, this guy's off. Like
mhm,
this is a red flag of like only a psychopath would have such a detailed skincare routine every single morning.
mhm.
Yes, I'm talking to you.
I don't have a 20-step program for the record. I have like a 5-step ritual that I do every morning. My if I had a 20-step skincare routine, I would be probably out of a
Get up
house at
at
this
3 o'clock.
point. Like I could not afford a 20 regimen thing. Like that is absolutely insane. Who got time for that? Ain't nobody got time for that. Mm-mm.
And then we also see him like working out and having breakfast in the morning, just with porn casually just playing on the TV like it's Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah, he's reading the newspaper. It's on in the background. He's just like, yeah, look at the stock market. Oh yeah, don't worry about Sandy. She's getting pounded on the TV. Like,
It's like, yep, this guy's got some big issues going on here.
yeah, and then we dive into a little bit more of his depravity. This is where this movie kind of gets a lot of backlash. Is the pretty intense and full on sequences with the call girls and things that happen that we won't 100% shed light on, but it's just not very friendly. He's got this
That's that's
weird
also
thing.
more on his method acting stuff.
Yeah,
The him and the one of the directors and producers and stuff, they just sat down and watched a whole bunch of porn and wrote down
notes.
stuff that we can do that. And then they drew stick figures of like how they would do that. And I was like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
Why?
That's not something you do nowadays. Like anybody, I
These
don't
days
think.
they would have to have an intimacy coordinator who would be like, we cannot do that.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
legally that's not allowed. This movie, like I said, it pushed a lot of boundaries. There were a lot of protests. This was filmed in mainly Toronto, but they had a hard time shooting because of the violence, the extreme violence in this movie. And we're not just talking about like an axe. There's pretty psycho tendencies towards women and just in general. It's just pretty rough. There are spots of this that are pretty intense.
Yeah, like I get for 2000 this was like pushing boundaries, and it's not so much the actual violence that is disturbing to me, it's like the context that they're within
Mhm.
that makes it so bad. Because you look at Human Centipede and Saw and even Terrifier these days,
Terrifier.
like, yeah, they're pushing the gore side of it to the extreme.
Mhm.
This one, it's more because of the context of how the violence is happening, the
Correct.
power dynamics between the people involved that makes it so off-putting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's insane. He just goes from, banging and abusing some call girls to back to his lonely engagement and random dinners and shit and goes on with his life. Willem Dafoe comes in and starts to ask him questions about Paul Allen's murder. How do you feel about Willem Dafoe and his whole detective character?
Yeah, you don't really see a lot of him. He does a good job of like the bits that he does. I do like that it rattles Bateman, and he tries to be a helpful detective basically, and is just terrible at it. So I'm like, there is no way this guy has actually killed anyone, because he would have been caught 2 seconds later. Especially because,
Yeah.
like, as it gets to the end, he's basically flat out telling people, like, "Oh, I've done this, this, and this," and they have no reaction. So I'm like, okay, this something's weird here. Like, he's imagining himself telling these people, and like he calls his lawyer, confesses to, I killed like 20 to like something like 20 to 40 people. I made videotapes of all the killings. I also ate some of their brains, and I guess I'm a pretty sick guy. Like, yeah, no shit if you did that.
It
But then the lawyer's like, no, you didn't. I met
was a good
Paul.
joke. Yeah,
He was
that was a
on the
great
run. Like,
joke.
what are you talking about? I'm like,
Yeah.
so it's basic. Yeah, it has to all just be in his head, because nobody believes him. Nobody reacts. It's like he's just having these crazy, psycho, murderous, rage-filled fantasies, and like I think it's more like he's just infatuated with the idea of serial killers, because he's constantly referencing like, oh, Ted
Dahmer.
Bundy and Dean and and yeah, Dahmer and stuff. And it's like, and all his mates are like, who? I'm like, who doesn't know Ted Bundy?
Yeah, he even
Like the
mentions
most
that.
famous serial killer of all time.
Yeah, there is a one human side to him that you do see a little bit later in the movie with his assistant, who is, you can tell she's attracted to him, and he invites her over for dinner, and like obviously at that time everybody's just like, oh, he's gonna off her, like she's probably gonna get killed or something like that. But he takes pity on her, which is something that's not really expected, I don't think, originally when watching this, because you see just how twisted he really is. But yeah, he like has a little bit of humanity where he's just like, I think you should go because you're probably gonna get hurt. And she
Yeah,
just takes it as
yeah.
like
If you're
innocently,
here,
like
I'm gonna end up killing you.
yeah, and she's just like, oh, he's gonna break my heart. I didn't know that he was still involved with his fiance, like that kind of thing. So honestly, she got saved by Reese Witherspoon. Like, yay. But yeah, it's insane, the back and forth with him, because you kind of want to believe that he's a good guy, but he really can't. Like that's his only saving grace moment.
And then yeah, that leads to he gets the prostitutes back
Yes.
and
Well,
has
one of
the
them.
big, yeah, and then has the, oh, there's two there, because
No,
he bites
that's
one
his
and the other one
friend.
runs away.
The
Oh yeah,
redhead is
yeah, that's
the
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that scene, even more Christian Bale method acting. Apparently,
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
he just was happily standing around on set between takes, just with a sock on.
Yep.
That
And
was it.
shoes. Tennis shoes. Don't forget the
Yep,
shoes. Mhm.
yep. A sock over his bits. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
But that is like that's like the biggest, that's like the most memorable scene aside from the original Paul Allen killing, is him running around chasing a girl naked through an apartment
Butt
complex
naked.
with with a chainsaw. Just
And not, yeah, nobody steps out the door. It's like, this has to be in his head.
yeah, because it is so silent. You would think that like if someone heard a chainsaw going off in an apartment complex of all places, that would be like, what's
What is
going on?
happening?
Why does anybody have a chainsaw in an apartment complex or a whole thing of power tools in their kitchen?
No power tools.
Oh my God. But yeah, that is actually my favorite kill. As much as I actually dislike the sequences, like that sequence in particular, the killing of that is really fun. When he essentially just like follows her from upstairs with the chainsaw and just like circles the whole time she runs down the stairs and then just drops it on her.
A couple of other things I wrote down was, you mentioned Donald Trump. There are a few awkward Donald Trump references in 2025. Like, oh, is that Donald Trump's car? Is that Ivana Trump? Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Twin Towers. The Twin
Yeah.
Towers is always so weird to see in movies these days.
It
Like,
is,
oh,
yeah. It's always funny. It's funny for me to like see your reaction to things like that, because I have so many movies that have them in there. Like one of the Die Hard movies that has the Twin Towers in it. So for me, it's normal for me to like see movies with them pretty often. But I know like for you, it's just like, oh shit, like I forgot that it was in there, and it's very interesting to like see it in all its glory, even if it's like small shot.
Especially like some re-releases they go and composite
Edit
them
them
and edit.
out.
Just
Yep.
I hate that. Like,
Yeah,
well,
I feel like it's all like it's almost like
or like movies use them to like establish timelines. They're like,
hmm
okay, so this movie is absolutely set before this time because look, the Twin Towers are here.
Yeah. I feel like it takes it away when they generate them out of movies, because then it's like you know that that movie is set in that timeline, but yeah, it's just one
Yeah,
of those
they
things
just
that
don't
they
want to
admit.
offend anyone. It's like, no, that's lame.
So I also found out that this movie came out at the Sundance Film Festival. So, and you can tell that it's not like, it was never meant to be like a huge theatrical release, just because it is a very, very niche audience. Hi, we're the niche audience, or at least I am. I don't really know about Jamie, but I'm that niche audience.
I feel like if this came out now, this would be a like Shudder would have been like, we want this movie.
Yeah. So
This
this
is
is
going to be like our tent pole for the year movie.
Yep. And this movie, when it originally went to rating, it was rated NC-17, which is the hardest rating you can get over here in the US. It's
Yeah,
on the
would
level
have
of like
been
almost an X
purely for the
rating.
chomp scene.
Yeah. They took out, it's really weird how like our rating system goes, but like they only had to take out 18 seconds of the initial like threesome with the call girls to get an R rating. And it's just so weird. It's crazy to me to think that it's such a minimal amount of time that has to be removed from a movie to change that rating factor.
That scene probably got pretty extreme, so that's
Yeah.
probably the more extreme end of it that had to be cut off.
Yeah. So yeah, they had to edit it. I'm not mad that they edited it, honestly, because it's just not one of those necessary things.
It's still
It's still
it's
pretty
still
full on.
enough.
Yeah,
Still
it's
gets
still
the point across.
it's more than enough, honestly. That was a fun thing. I also read that there was a lot of American companies that wanted nothing to do with having their products in this film because they didn't want it to be associated with the psychotic kind of thing.
It was not just American, it was a bunch of
A lot of things.
products. Like,
Um,
nope.
yeah, no. There's a scene where he's talking to, I think it is one of the call girls, and she goes to like grab his hand or something, and he tells her, "Don't touch the watch." In the novel, it's "Don't touch the Rolex." Rolex
Mhm.
didn't want that in the movie. I can see
Yep.
why.
They're in the movie.
No, they didn't want the line in the movie, that's what I mean. Like, they didn't wanna be like
Yeah.
100%.
They also he doesn't wear a Rolex.
Yeah,
Everyone else can wear a Rolex in
he
this movie,
cannot.
so all of his mates wear them, but Bateman cannot.
Nope. There's a lot of things that Bateman can't do because he's mainly seen on the film, and so there's even when it came to his costumes, certain designers were like, "No, we're not touching you. You can't wear any of our suits on film." Like, sorry, not
Well, yeah,
happening.
I've got the list here. Like
Mhm.
Karuti, they allowed him to wear their clothes, but he couldn't wear their clothes when he was killing anyone. So he's only ever wearing their clothes when it's like one of those dinner scenes or something like
Yeah.
that. Perry Ellis, the underwear provider, they provided underwear at the last minute because they were supposed to be Calvin Klein's.
Yeah, that explains a
They,
lot.
they were like, nope, don't want to be involved in this.
Nope.
And his overnight bag, the John Paul Gaultier bag that
Yep.
he disposes of that guy in.
Just casually disposing of a body in a Jean Paul Gaultier. Like,
Yeah, they're only in it because a different company, Comme des Garçons, refused to allow their overnight bags to be used to carry a corpse. They're like, you can use our bags, but if you're going to put a body in it, no.
no. John
So,
Paul's like,
yeah,
"I'm already outrageous. Let's go ahead for it."
yeah, it's just stuff like that where it's like that would have just production, like you said, production hell because like we had all these contracts and plans in place, and then when they saw the script, they're like,
Absolutely not.
no, we don't want to be involved in that. Like that's a bad look for us. So
Yeah.
yeah, they
Like,
had to change stuff. Apparently the book is a lot more extreme, so they had to completely remove or tone down things to make it all fit and get that approvals and stuff like
mhm.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
the book apparently some people have been like, nope, I'm giving up on this, or they have to put it down and come back to it later. So
What? I've only
apparently,
DNF'd one book. Like, I've only ever DNF'd one book, and that was the earlier this year. I met my limit. I found my hard limit this year.
you'll be so nuts. So I think you'll be
Yeah.
fine with this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not nuts, but anyway, whatever. I'm not anyway. Yeah,
Ice
I'll
cream.
when I read the book, I shall report back to you and let you know of my findings. Just to humor you a little bit. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I love this movie. I know you hate the ending. Like I said, I think it's in his head. But again, some of the stuff that he did, like who knows if he really did? Like I feel like he might have actually killed that homeless guy in the alleyway. I'm sure there are people that he did kill, and I
I
feel like
think
some of
that
them might have
might be the
happened.
only one. That might be the only one he did because, like, they're not really going to investigate that.
Mhm.
They kind of that would kind of just get brushed aside as like, oh, just another dead homeless guy.
Yeah.
But like the cat at the ATM, like that's clearly in his head. Like
Yeah.
he's not doing that. Like obviously the axe murder scene doesn't happen because the guy's apparently alive in London. So like those scenes I think are not real. But like maybe the prostitute scene is real, but then it's also like a chainsaw, like it's not subtle. Like if he just killed her in his apartment, side like choked her out or something,
Yeah.
I could have saw that. But yeah, I think it ends up all just being in his head. It's kind of like the how messed up and sociopathic people have to be to get to these really high level like CEO,
Mhm.
top of the business world positions. I think it's a commentary on that.
Yeah. I know you mentioned that you wish you had had a sequel, and the crap that we got is not good. I found out Lionsgate and FX were actually in talks to make a series of American Psycho. It would have taken place when Bateman was in his 50s, and it was supposed to be him grooming a new assistant slash apprentice to continue his vengeance. It's been on
That would have been
hiatus since
interesting.
it was on hiatus since last year, and there's no more information on it, which is kind of disappointing because I think that would have been really cool. And FX puts out some really good shit. Like, honestly, if they could get Ryan Murphy to do that, like, I think it'd be great. But here's hoping on a prayer.
I guess that probably the concern there is now that we've got shows like Dexter,
It's gonna be
it
too
might just
similar.
it might just feel like a knockoff Dexter type thing. Like it's 25 years old, so like there are people probably have never seen it, like me. Like I'd never seen it. I knew
Yeah.
about it, and
hmm
like I'd seen like
Snippets
obviously
or
like
whatever.
the Simpsons skits and the Family Guy stuff like that, where they like parodied it.
hmm
But yeah, actually watch it, it's fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, so wrapping up because I got nothing else because I did not prepare properly because you know me. That's how I just bring this shit. Whatever, people, you know me. Jamie's the one with the plan. I'm the one who's like, yeah, look at this. The train is gonna crash and it's gonna be great. But yeah, so overall, what do you give American Psycho out of 5?
I gave it a 4. It was really enjoyable. I just wish they had maybe reworked that ending, and I could see them like potentially like doing a remake
Or like a
at some point.
reboot or something? Yeah.
Yeah, like reboot it, like try and set it up for a new age. But yeah, or give it another 10, 15 years and come back and do like a sequel,
Yeah.
or like we've seen, like the sort of like the anthology type thing. Like here's a
hmm
different Psycho.
Yeah.
Here's British Psycho.
hmm
Can't do
I like
Australian.
it.
We've already got plenty of those.
I was gonna say Wolf Creek is yours fucking Australian Psycho over there. That's your movie. If you were to have a sequel for that, then who would play Patrick Bateman in your revamp of this?
Maybe the guy from the Baby Girl, with Nicole Kidman.
Oh, I haven't
He'd
seen
be
Baby
kind of
Girl yet.
Harris Dickinson.
Okay. Okay, I
I
like it.
think he'd be interesting.
I like it. Um, so
Maybe from
American
Australia.
Psycho for me, I give this movie a 5. It's one of my favorites. I come back to it all the time. I watch it all the fucking time, even though I feel like a weirdo saying that I come back to it all the time because it is such a chaotic film, but I am chaotic. So yeah, if there were a sequel or a reboot of some sort, Jeremy Allen White would be my Patrick Bateman. That would be my
That'd
choice
be
for him.
quite the turn for him.
I'm just saying, because like I think back to like him when he was in Shameless, like that's how I grew up watching. Well, not grew up, but that's how I watched Jeremy Allen White was playing
Introduced to
Lip.
him. Yeah.
And so for me, I feel like his like breakdowns and like withdrawals and shit like that coming down, I feel like that would be a really good way of kind of channeling a psychotic kind of person.
Anyone but Tom Holland is in enough.
No, and Tom Holland's just too fucking innocent to play something like that. Like, he was really good in that the one about yes. Yeah, he was super good in that, but
yeah.
But no, Tom Holland, just no, you can't ruin him like that. He's too innocent. But yeah, so I'm gonna let Jamie outro because I never outro because I suck. So there's that. One day I'll get it.
Thank you for listening to the commentary booth. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe on podcast services and on YouTube. You can follow Corrina on Instagram at Miss Corrina Renee. And you can follow me on social media at JamUps Media and at Pario Magazine. But until next time, I'm off to return some videotapes.
Oh my God. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
The commentary booth is a fan-funded production of Jamie Apps Media. You can support the podcast alongside our magazine, Pario Magazine, on Patreon at patreon.com/Jamie Apps Media. The following people supported at the publisher level or higher, and you cannot fathom how incredibly appreciative we are for their support.